Once again, I'm not liable if you end up just completely just obliterating your car. Don't listen to a word of what I'm saying. Go check out Beamer Zen. His videos are really good. Right, so we are back. Now, I had a look online. This one guy, Beamer Zen, he's really good with these particular engines. He has a full link on how to do the entire timing chain system and everything. He shows it in really good detail, and if you do need some help with it, just look him up. He is just the man to do it. Right, so pop the glove skis on. Now I have the radio playing, so you might hear it just in the back, just off camera. Now, back into this. So, you just clip this little zip tie over here. Which I will be replacing. Try not to clip any of the wires, because you don't want to have to rebuy them and this and that. That's off to the side. Now, we can just fold that back over there, and we can finally get this out of the way. Just like that. Bit more clearance now. Now, what we have to do on this is you have to break the seal on the gasket, just so you can get inside of there. And when you're doing that, just remember to pull these little flaps up and out of it. Fucking have it on. A little bit of maneuvering needed for this part here. She is on tight. Jesus Christ. Fucking hell. Just like that. You'll hear her just cracking away a bit. Fuck, he made it look so easy. Lord almighty, she's on fucking well. Now what he did say as well, just try to keep it all in one piece. There we go. Right, so we should be able to just peel it away. Just slowly working your way around. Nice and easy. Just like that. Oh yeah. That's what's stopping me. Okay. Oh, finally. Ha 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 ha. Now we're in. Now we're rolling. Now we're cooking. Whew. Jesus Christ. I told you. I told everyone. I knew it. Okay. So, pour the water out of there. And you're just going to want to keep the gasket on it. Don't try and move it. If you want to clean it, you can. But I'll probably give it a little wipe down. I might give the actual cover a wipe down as well, because it looks quite bad. Now, from what I can see, the timing chain guide is completely bollocks. And how do I know that? Because I can pull out a piece just like that. So the plastic gets brittle over the years of just sitting in there. This engine it's from 2003, so I would imagine that actually, hold on now, it says here built February 03. So yeah, it is quite old. It's 3 years older than me, which makes, Jesus, 23 years old. So just from looking at this here now, the entire thing is banjaxed. Now the chain doesn't have as much play as I would expect it to have, but there's little bits of shrapnel just everywhere. It's caked in shrapnel here. I will have to definitely pull them out and look at them, but it violently exploded. That is very bad. Holy crap. How does that even happen? Okay, so the entire chain guide has to come, and there is a bit of play. This should be kind of held up a bit more, kind of held in place, but it's not. It's banjaxed. That's the word for it. The Irish word, banjaxed. It is, yeah, fucking banjaxed. Jesus Christ. That took some effort. It's missing half the fucking pieces that are meant to be on it. Fucking hell. They're all just scattered around here. Jesus. Oh, okay. I'll have to go looking for them eventually. So it's another week, and weather is so-so. So I'm probably just gonna fast forward through most of this and just overlay some audio over it, and just kind of basically what I want to do is I want to pull out the spark plugs. I want to find where top dead center is by putting this in and just seeing where it evens out at the top. Then I just checked with the exhaust side, it is good. And when I put these up, it only seemed to me like it was one chain off, but I just want to see if it's in top dead center on the first piston. So all the parts have arrived so far, and it's just a case of removing everything, which one of them is a bit pesky. We just need to probably fit something in there and pull it out. I don't know what fucking size it is then if it's not a 32. There's a bit of a tricky one. The timing belt needs to come off because it's missing a strand, and I need to basically pull out most of this. But first I need to reset the timing before anything really happens. So that's going to be a case of, well, first of all, finding top dead center, locking everything down. But to reset the timing, I need to take off the tensioner and skip, I think it was this one. I think the intake side was off by one tooth. So I need to skip it back, put everything, lock it in, take the chain off, the guide, everything else, and I'll probably try to commentate while I'm doing this, but it'll all just be in like 5 times speed. So I did actually mention that I was going to take the belt off, but I bought the wrong size, okay? But I figured out actually what might have caused this engine to fail when I got more kind of deeper into it. If you look at the actual number of ribs on the belt that I got, which was the right amount of ribs, but the wrong size, the ribs just completely just shredded off when they first cranked it up. So someone replaced it with I'd say 1 or 2 extra ribs on it by accident. Once that was on, it just shredded the ribs and actually got caught inside of the engine. So that was quite funny to pull out just a feckin' mess, just a bush of belt. Now this project was quite fun. It would have been a bit better if I had some kind of garage or somewhere to store the car inside, because it was quite cold and I was limited by how often I could go out. So I completely forgot to video this part, but essentially what I did was I just released the tension with one of these. I think it was a 22. So I just wind it back a tiny bit, and it should release the tension on the chain, and that lets you just put a 16mm socket, which I have on here. That's it here. So onto that, and all I needed to do was just skip it forward by literally 1 tooth. So then I'll put in the rear, so these two. I actually need to put in one more thing, which is just this little small thing here, and that's gonna go into here. So I think you can see it there. Just about finger tight. There we go. That's in place. So what you're going to be looking for is that there. That like that should be in the right direction. And then this facing that way. It's facing the other way. You're probably on the wrong side, but that means that this wouldn't even fit into there. So actually with this one, I just needed a small little dunk. Not going fucking crazy on it, just a small little, and it should clip into place on both of them. Then you lock it down just to make sure. So now what we're gonna have to do is, this was actually a 27, it wasn't a 32. I ended up having to take off the coolant pipe, which you can see. Actually, I forgot to mention this one as well. I have the car sitting up on bricks. That one's a little bit sketchy because these are hollows, but the arse bit, the entire thing is lifted up so I can actually fit underneath the car, and it just makes it a bit easier to work on. So when I drained the coolant, when I was taking out this pipe here, I looked at it and I was like, oh geez, it's a bit dirty. I thought this was build-up, but it turns out that's actually the inner sleeve, because if you pull up on it a bit while it's fully bolted down, it actually leaks a bit of coolant, which I realized was because half of it is still in there. So that was great crack. That means I have to buy a new pipe for that, which shouldn't be too hard because it literally goes from here to there. I could probably find it pretty easy. And I also realized that I never actually bought these bolts. You cannot reuse these because they're made to stretch. So when you try to reuse them, it just fucks up the whole thing. So now what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to take these off so I can take the chain off. And to do that, there's a couple of bits involved with this. So first I'm gonna have to mark where top dead center is. So it's about here. Then I have to put a 16mm socket onto this, which is covered in filth. Behind that is a small little spot for an Allen key to just slip in. That's just to lock this in the open position. To take this off, which I will be replacing anyway, so I would need to do that even if I didn't want to. You just need to remember what way this goes on. If you see a smooth one, that means the back of the serpentine belt has to go on it, and if you see something with teeth, it means the actual toothed part has to go onto it. So you can see, this is the best example. This part here is smooth, so the smooth part of the belt goes on here, and then this part with the teeth goes onto the part with the teeth here. I didn't know they made these for BMWs, but I think it's actually the older types. So if you see this connection point here, actually made of Bluetooth, which is kind of cool. So that's definitely going to piss me off if it keeps knocking around like that while I'm driving. So, wow, fuck. That connection point is toasted. I will be replacing probably the entire system anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me. But generally and genuinely, the car actually seems pretty clean, apart from the actual components themselves, which have a lot of rust. The rear bumper will have to come off because I'm not arsed having to put the jack all the way underneath and putting it up against the diff just to lift it up. I would rather have it right here, and as well as that, buy a new back bumper because you can see the two different colors of paint. I did buy a new section for this here. I think it was called side trim. I don't know, I just asked for that. I got it for fairly cheap. I think I don't even remember how much it was. New wheels are in order, so I need to save up money and buy them. I need to get these stupid bolts off and put on, instead of lug studs, I need to put lug nuts on it, so I'll need to buy a conversion set for that. Probably a new set of coilovers so it's not as high. And I think that's pretty much it. I need to make up a new boot for the shift knob, a new section for that there, which will have cup holders in it, and probably a new stereo because the old one has an old parrot on it, which I don't want. I'd rather have a stereo that already has a microphone built into it, or at least one of my friends bought a really cool stereo in my opinion, and it works fairly well. Yeah, I think that's pretty much most of the things that I need to buy at the minute. I might invest in a limited slip diff kit. I'm not too sure about that yet. I need to see how much, if it actually has any power, and if I could do anything with the power. I'm not trying to make it more powerful. I just want to see if it could spin out the rear wheels, because inertia is kind of the main thing. As well as that, I might end up buying quick plate, which to me seems like a bit of a scam, which you're paying about, I think it was $75 for a full set. Now, in my opinion, it's just a couple of magnets. You could probably make it up yourself, but you're just paying for the convenience of having the whole kit kind of set up, and everything is already tested and tried and this and that, and everything's made with, like, to be fair, it's made with good quality parts. It's just, I don't know how I feel about having to pay 70 quid for a set of fucking magnets. Like, headlights, I'll probably do something with them. I won't change them fully to Xeon because I like the fact that I don't blind other drivers. I need a new front bumper because this lacquer peel is insane, and as well as that, I don't really like the style of it. I will hold on to it though, because it is a fairly good bumper. It just needs a lick of paint, and if my new bumper breaks, I actually have something to put on instead. As well as I need a lifting point at the front, so I'll have to get a bash bar for that as well. So a bash bar for the front and rear with lifting points, because I'm not arsed having to climb up underneath there and stick a jack onto the small little, it's kind of like a little plate. You can already see it's bent up, and jacking points on each side. I'm going to change them to these metal ones. Also a bit of a scam because it's just a hunk of metal. Why am I paying 70 quid for it? So those should go all around. Fitting the body kit might be a bit of a challenge, because the body kit I'm buying comes without any kind of pre-drilled holes. It just lets you kind of make it up yourself. So I'll probably make them quick releases, which would be pretty fun to do. It's just, all it is just money and time. That's realistically all I need, and I have plenty of time, but I have no fucking money. So we'll see how it goes. This is the worst thing. This is the worst combination that you can have for old BMWs, because they require both money and time, lots of money and a lot of talking time. But not to worry, I don't really use the car anyway. Okay, so as you saw, I popped off these two, which are now here, and for some fucking reason, the 3/8 E10 socket that I need to fit into here is just a hair too fat. Now I have two options. I can either buy a whole new socket set, or I can try grind down chrome vanadium, which is, it's a little bit hard to do, and if you fuck it up, you fuck it up completely. So I'll probably just end up buying one, because I'm not arsed fucking up an entire socket set just to fucking do that. Now I did try to put a screwdriver and hammer it down, but that didn't work, of course, because fucking nothing ever works if you're working on BMWs. I got a couple of pieces of the old chain guide out. Where are the rest of them? They're somewhere down in there, so I'll have to go digging for them through the oil pan most likely. This journal bolt was a 45mm Torx, which I have somewhere here. Here it is. 45 T45 I mean. So first you take off this little thing, and then you actually take out the journal bolt. Same for this one, but this one, instead of having a T45, you need an E10 for that. So I might have to get a 1/4 inch set. I'm not too sure. I'll have to check, see what the story is. But yeah, this is probably where it's going to end today, because I have stuff to do. As you can see here, it is 35 minutes past 6. So I have something to do. I have to go somewhere at 7:30, so I have to go get ready anyway. But that might be it for today. I don't know when the next time I'm going to get out to this is, so I'll have to cover this up and finish it off a different date. Lovely. Did something a bit sketchy, but it actually worked. I took a 6mm 1/4 inch socket, and as you can see, it just barely fits on the tip of it. That was just enough to just about break that connection. So it means I don't need to fucking pack up everything and finish off for the day. I can actually keep doing a couple of bits and bobs on this, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So it is working, as you can see. Oh, there's going to be some bastard to get out. So I think I can now put on the proper socket that I need, which was the E8, I think. So I'm just going to run over here, pick up an E8. And we'll try to fit that on. Beautiful. Okay. So I need a little extension bar, that's what I need. There we go. Right, nice little small one. So, just gonna fit that on and try to pull it off the rest of the way without letting it drop in. Boo! Beautiful. So there we go. That was a bit sketchy. We're just gonna check it for any damage. Nothing too bad. No, looks bang on. Looks beautiful. Perfect. So that means that this is almost halfway off, and I feel like there is another one somewhere just lurking around that I'm completely forgetting about. I might need the flash for this actually. And my phone is on 3%. So, I never paused that. No way. So this one should come off there now. Come on, just about. Lovely. Right, this goes down. Where did I put the other one? There it is. So, you sit down here. Okay, you're very close to coming out. There's one more thing holding it on, and I think it's somewhere down, more kind of orientated.